Welcome back to Netball Central for the second game tonight on the show court. It's round 10 in the 2017 Samsung Premier League, meaning we've just got 5 rounds of play left, including tonight before we hit the finals. We've just seen a pretty big upset in the open sides where the Central Coast Heart beat Sutherland Stingrays. 5th versus 4th it was, and the Sutherland Stingrays were the favourites for that match, but the Central Coast Heart got up in the end, 65-44. And now it's the under-20s turn here on the show court. In a bottom-of-the-ladder clash, these two teams have faced the reality that it's highly unlikely they'll make the finals. But that doesn't mean their passion to win has faded. Sutherland are 8th and Central Coast Heart are 7th. So they're tight, they're close, and the only difference in points that's separating them on the ladder is a draw that Central Coast were able to nab. They both come into tonight having suffered similar and heavy losses last week, so we're expecting a tight matchup between these two. Let's get into the lineups before we have a look at the play in front of us. For the Stingrays, Vicky Kerr has selected Kai Swenke and Genevieve Mexted, a training partner who played for the Sparks last year in the under-20s. Those two will be shooting tonight for Sutherland Stingrays. Bailey Pule is in wing attack with Ellie Campbell in centre. Jada White in wing defence, another training partner who's playing Metro League for the Sutherland Association. Claudia Kerjack in goal defence and Adrian Bogard in goalkeeper with her. For the Central Coast, Nerida Stewart, the coach tonight, has put Bronte Dawn in goal shooter with Maddie Wild in goal attack. Hannah Francis Stewart is in wing attack. Beck Egan is in centre. Jasmine Rodwell in wing defence. She filled in for the Opens just for a little bit on the court in the game before this. And we've got Maddie Hilton, the captain tonight, in goal defence with Kaylin Ryan in goalkeeper. Just repeating the scores of the other Opens matches tonight in case you've just tuned in. On the other courts, GWS beat UTS 45-43. That was 1v8. GWS in 8th spot beating the top of the ladder Sparks. It's a huge result. On court 2, the Panthers got up over the Manly Warringah Sapphires, again 6v2, and the 6th place Panthers got up 51-47. On court 3, North Shore United beat the Erna Hawks 56-49. And that's a really big result considering North Shore United were underdogs as well. We've seen the Heart take a 2-goal lead. Make that 3 in the opening minutes of this first quarter. But a very young Sutherland Stingrays team playing tonight in the blue and black. Oh, that was nice feeding. Kaylin Ryan almost got the intercept, but just timed it wrong with the jump. Stewart. Egan. Stewart again, popping the ball up. And Bronte Dawn unable to pull it in, or control it as it spins over the back line. Some good drives being made by the Rays. They're working hard off the ball. Coach Vicky Kerr very much focusing on the fact that this under-20 side is supposed to be a pathway to the Opens. So that's her focus, to try and shift the mentality around missing finals into improving on each of the players' games and achieving their personal goals instead. Also really unfortunate with injuries, the Rays. They had all 4 shooters out at one stage, right at the start of the season. They were missing Kai Swanky, Ricky McRae, Shelby Mallon, and Caitlin Walker. Good hands by Dawn, drawing it into her body. So all bar Caitlin Walker are back from those injuries now. Meaning they've got 3 shooters to work with. And they're hoping just to finish the season on a good note. Also a pretty interesting fact is that 9 of the players in this Sutherland Stingrays side are completing their HSC. That's huge. That sort of pressure. And to have 9 of the squad going through it makes things pretty tough with all the netball training, and especially nights like tonight, which will run pretty late before school tomorrow. Both shooters calling for it. In the end, Ellie Campbell passed off to Kai Swanky. They've come back into this game and they'll level the score with that goal. This is Central Coast Centre. Hoping to push back one in front. Got to be ready for the rebounds. So Maddie Wild's shot pops out the baseline. Long bomb, too much in it. Max just couldn't pull it in. Almost cutting out the midcourt. With Beck Egan. And now Wild. Again, not ready for the rebounds. Just lucky to pick it up that time. Great shooting by Bronte Dawn. In the same way that Sutherland have shifted the focus on their goals for the end of the season, Nerida Stewart, the coach of the Central Coast Heart under-20 side. It's a nice intercept. Maddie Hilton, the captain. So Nerida Stewart has tried to shift the focus of what's going on in the Hearts game. So the last thing they want to do is potentially come last, she said. So this is a pretty important game, but the goal now is to try and keep improving each week. And she said it's never too late to improve, which is very true. Nice positive outlook. It seems like the Central Coast suffered a lot of injuries earlier in the season as well, missing Bronte Dawn, Beck Egan, Jasmine Roddle, although some of those girls may have been on holidays in the middle of the season. But as Stuart said, it puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the players to take on the positions. So a good challenge for the other girls to step up to the plate when they're missing so many. And that's what the under-20s is really about. Just giving this younger talent a chance to come out every Wednesday night and perform against the other best athletes in New South Wales. Some good driving being done through the midcourt. Actually from the defenders up the midcourt, trying to get the ball to the shooters. Lovely shooting by Bronte Dawn. So push two in front, the Heart. Make that three with Dawn's work. We've got a nice little crowd happening up in the function room at the back while watching. Out of the hands. Straight through Ellie Campbell's fingers and into Central Coast Hearts. Dawn doing well to contest the ball and follow up. Oh, lovely work from Beck Egan, jumping on the intercept. Pass just too long. Allowing too much time for a changeover. And Dawn looked confident on the shot, but it's popped off the back of the rim. Central Coast with another opportunity here in the pocket. Wild baseline. One-footed and up and into the net. 14-10, the Heart lead the Stingrays. And we've got 2.5 minutes on the clock in this first quarter. Dawn in front, little way out. Juggled around a bit, but fell through. Ellie Campbell throwing a pass, it's just a bit too hard. Wild looking to offload. In the process, Adrian Bogart's picked up the ball. Again, Hilton able to jump in front of the ball. The pass from Jada White for the Stingrays just too long. Trying to make miracles happen when there's other options available closer and safer. Nice work between Stewart and Dawn just to get her closer to the post and in shooting range. Nice little flick of the wrist. And another nice little point to add to the Hearts total. Claudia Kerjak just coming up with that ball there. We see her take it again now. Oh, hand to it from Maddie Hilton. Sees a turnover. Pushed into Stewart's hands. Stewart, pocket. So Egan on the edge of the circle, and she'll go back to Stewart. Dawn sandwiched in the middle of two Stingrays defenders on Adrian Bogard in front of Wild, stealing the ball back. It's fantastic defence. Lovely work into Kai Swenke, and she'll put it up and through the hoop. Stingrays centre. 10 seconds on the clock. Kai Swenke needs to put it in from here. Oh, she's done it. 16-12. There's now 4 difference as we head into the quarter break. And Sutherland will be happy with their ability to come back there under pressure. We might just get the ladder for the under-20s. You can see last year's champions, the Panthers, are still very dominant in this competition. They're tied with GWS on 14 points, and for and against really the only thing that's separating them up top. UTS in third with 11 points, 3 points behind, so obviously going to have to win 2 games to try and catch the Panthers or GWS and hope that they lose 1 or 2 themselves. Manly Warringah in fourth on 10 points. And you've got North Shore United and Erna both sharing 9, and the Central Coast Heart and the Stingrays, who are on this show court tonight in 7th and 8th with 3 and 2 points. So it's quite tight between those top 2, and just a little less so when it comes to 3rd and 4th spot. So North Shore United and Erna are still able to sneak up into there over the coming weeks. We've got 4 rounds left after tonight before we hit the semis. And it's important to note that while the Premier League is a massive opportunity for young netballers in New South Wales and some of the older netballers who are maybe great talents but weren't able to make Suncorp Super Netball sides or the former ANZ Championship competition, it's also a pathway for umpires and officials that are looking to continue their own personal development in the game. So Netball New South Wales have put out a little article saying that not everyone wants to lift a Suncorp Super Netball or Samsung Premier League trophy. Some just want to make sure the game of netball is played in a fair and honest manner, and that's just as important. And it really is, because without them we can't have this competition or any competition in New South Wales or Australia for that matter. So the Samsung Premier League features the best umpires New South Wales has, and some of them have actually officiated at Super Netball and A&L level, but this is the pathway that helps elevate them into that high performance range. So with that in mind, Netball New South Wales are encouraging umpires of all levels to come along to the Premier League as it approaches the finals, the business end that we're really looking forward to, because if you're into that sort of thing, there's really great officiating talent on display, and it can be a great learning experience how it all happens. Some more netball news in terms of New South Wales and representative level is that nominations are now open for players, coaches, assistant coaches and managers to compete for a spot to represent New South Wales at the 2018 17 and under and 19 and under National Netball Championships. They'll be in Adelaide next April. And in the spirit of growing the game and creating equal opportunities, Netball New South Wales is for the first time holding Phase 1 trials for the 17 and under side in 4 venues across the state. So they're hoping that this will maximise the opportunity for girls from both regional and metro areas. But it's also a really great opportunity, even if you don't make the squad. If you're not one of the 12 that are selected to represent New South Wales, it's a really good opportunity to make a development squad. And that way you might be able to harness the talent that might not be quite ready to succeed just yet. So teams are back out on the court and we're underway in the second quarter. Remember, the Heart were leading by 4 at the break. Already we've seen Central Coast Heart make a mistake up their end. They'll get it back. Wilds and Egan. Just pass back to each other. Dawn finding some space with her arms around Stingrays defenders. She really is their target shooter. Fantastic work from Egan. Wasted opportunity. If you can capitalise off the centre, especially if it's not your centre, it's a great sign. Oh, look at Wild jumping. She'll keep it in play. It ends up in Dawn's hands. That was a little bit of magic. High five to finish the job. Stewart forced backwards. Another mistake sees it pop over the baseline. So that's 3 times now in the second quarter. Less than 2 minutes of play. That Central Coast have overcooked a ball and they've wasted an opportunity. Throw in now. Sorry, free pass. Quick work between Wild. Hands to Dawn. These two are on fire. Swanky, composed as ever, up and in. Egan unhappy with Stewart coming forward. Looking elsewhere to offload. Wild, top of the circle to Dawn. Just pushing through the defenders. Good rebounds. Pulling it in. Wild, again able to get it to Dawn as she loses her balance. And she'll end up with it with a baseline shot on the other side of the post. And they push their lead out to 7 points. Swanky in front. Great work. Stewart just timing a pass and feed into Dawn correctly. Waiting for the mess in front of her to disappear before she let go of the ball. Little boot to it from Wild to get it back to the centre. Held ball. It's good defence from Central Coast. Rodwell up and over to Egan. Pops up to Wild. Good timing from Stewart to Wild. And then also on to Dawn. Hilton to Egan. Stewart, Wild's there. Pass back. And again, 3 times. So Maddie Wild just lacking some accuracy with the shot, but not with effort as she takes an intercept. She's done a lot of the work off the ball and defensively up that end. And she'll score that one. Stewart calling for it with her hands up. And although Jada White got a hand to it, sort of popped into the shooting circle, not where you want it to go. Central Coast with another centre. They've done well to turn the ball over. But they've also wasted a lot of opportunity. It's probably the fourth or fifth time it's popped out the baseline or over the side up this end. Bronte Dawn almost taking it back. Penalised while doing so. Good drive from Stewart, finding some space behind her defender. And Bogarts forced a turnover. It's pretty cold in here, you can see. Nice and rugged up. High Swanky, long arms. Little bounce pass to Maxted. Good rebound. Swanky, eyes for the ball. Offside. Stewart up and over. This time it's on point. Dawn pulls it in. Takes a lovely shot at goal. Jennifer Maxted just getting an arm to it. Disrupting the play. And Bogarts definitely disrupted the play now. She's fired up, yelling at her team to get forward. And Rodwell's forced an intercept. Stewart, edge of the circle. Timing a pass to Wild perfectly. And the difference is 6 as we hit a 6-minute mark. As in 6 minutes left before half-time. See the Central Coast subs keeping warm up the back of the court. Ryan, good hold. Unable to stop Kai Swanky and her accuracy. No look pass, Wild to Dawn. some misjudgment in passes by Sutherland. Dawn ready and waiting. Pass was a little high, but she pulled it in. And Bogard straight on the rebound. Swanky not happy to shoot from that angle. Drags two defenders across and allows Mexa to get some space. Instead, Ryan saves the ball as it pops out the back. Some good passing here. Driving up the midcourt is Rodwell. Pass back between Wild and Stewart. Gets it to Dawn. And she puts it up and in. Good passage of play from the Hart. Lovely work from Ryan, just unable to get back the fraction she needed to be to steal the ball off Swanky. Pops out the side. Looking for an option. Wild to Stewart. No look pass. Come back around. Top of the circle. Receive it. And up into the net. That was fantastic play. Wild just steering Stewart where she needed to be. Swanky keeping it in play. Oh, unfortunately, she didn't keep it in play. Must have gone out at some stage. Rodwell, quick to Hilton. Long ball. It's going to end up in Adrian Bogard's arms. Just a little bit of composure from Central Coast. Hanging on to that. Great work by Kaylin Ryan, jumping on the loose ball. Stewart. Not willing to pass it to Dawn. She'll get it to Egan. Egan still manages to offload it as she almost falls out the court. And a good feed from Stewart into Wild. And Wild's really put her foot down in this quarter. Got 30 seconds on the clock. Wild, arm to it, pulling it in. Dawn in front. Pops out, Bogard's on it. Central Coast have not contested a number of the rebounds popping out of their goal. And that'll be all she wrote for half-time. 34-18, the Hart lead the Stingrays. We'll just take a quick break and we'll come back with you for the second half very shortly. Coming into the third quarter, the Heart are up by 16 points. You would have seen that they scored 18 to the Sutherland Stingrays 6. So the Rays making a third of what the Central Coast Heart were able to put through the hoop in that second quarter. And we've seen some changes. For the Central Coast Heart, Molly Ann Croker has come on in goalkeeper and Kaylin Ryan has come off. That's the only change for them. And for the Sutherland Stingrays, as you'd expect, some big changes have been made to their lineup. Ricky McRae has come on in goal attack. Genevieve Maxted to the bench. You've seen Lavana Wayne Boyle come on in wing defence and Jada White off. Tian Strong coming on in centre, pushing Ellie Campbell into wing attack. And that means that Bailey Poulet has come off and is now sitting on the side of the court. Nice fade into Swanky. Ricky McRae doing some excellent work to find some space, top of the circle. But we'll see Froke come out with the ball. Wayne Boyle. Too much in that ball. To Ellie Campbell, to be fair, she miscalculated the pass as well. Shot by Donna, she loses a balance. Schwenke offloading to McRae underneath. Lovely shot from Dawn. He's done a lot of work tonight. Majority of the 39 points on the board are from her. Jumping on the loose ball, forcing a turnover. Big ball over a third. Too much in that pass from Rodwell. Passing between Stewart and Wild. Oh, well done on the rebounds. 40-21, the Heart lead the Stingrays now. It's been a pretty successful night for both of the Heart teams. Ball pops from Mickey McRae's fingers into Schwenke's. Lovely feed from Tian Strong to Schwenke. Assessing the options and picking the best one. Some good timing as well. Mickey McRae. Lovely shot. Quick work, Stewart into Wild. And Bogart a bit unlucky there. Oh, it's popped out the back. But it was a contest for possession. Stewart up and over, Dawn able to find some space. Lovely goal. Classy talent. Campbell working hard. Top of the circle, Ricky McRae. What a ball! Stewart to Wild, into the circle. Cut out a whole lot of mess in the middle. Defenders caught. Bit of a mistake. Another really long ball from Stewart into Dawn. She's got a shoulder on her. We should say arm. Good shoulder pass. Hard work being done by Tian Strong. But just unable to keep up the accuracy with the pass. Dropping back, providing an option. Rudwell. Hilton, long ball to Stewart. Rudwell. Stewart running hard to pull it back in before it pops over the baseline. And she'll pop one up now to Brown, or Dawn, sorry. In front and up into the net. We've got under 4.5 minutes left of play in this third quarter. Some good running from Wayne Boyle. Ricky McRae coming up with it. Strong, looking to feed. Schwenke had to pop up the front. Oh, well done. Strong to Ricky McRae in the end. Good talk. Oh, lovely work from Wild to Dawn. Deflecting the ball from the pocket into the circle. And there's 20 points difference in this game. Not that much unlike the Opens we saw play on the show court before this game. Good driving being done. Up the middle of the court. Our Central Coast. Dawn, seriously, I'd like to know the accuracy of the shot she's put up tonight. It's been fantastic. And so has Wild in goal attack as well. Maybe a little less accurate, but plenty of flair in her game. On Maddie Hilton, giving it her all, trying to pull that ball into her grasp. And Kai Schwenke will end up with it. Less than a minute left in this quarter as the umpire holds the time. Maddie Wild just jumping on the end of that ball. Turning defense into offense. Good contest between Rodwell and Campbell. Sutherland, less than 15 seconds on the clock. We'll see a turnover. Central Coast will try and convert this to points now. Long bomb into the middle of the court. Oh, unfortunate. So 49-30, the Heart lead the Stingrays. A huge 19-point difference. And you can see the breakdown there. So there we go. Quarter 1 and quarter 3 were identical in terms of converted points by both sides. That second quarter really doing the damage to the Stingrays. Scoring 1/3 of what the Heart were able to do. Now, just while we've got a moment, I'll bring you this lovely story about disability being no barrier in netball coaching. So over 4 million people in Australia live with some form of disability, which equivalates to 1 in 6 people. So that's a lot of people living in Australia living with some form of disability. However, when you're comparing those figures to those within the coaching landscape, numbers dramatically drop, and that's something netball is really looking to change. So Netball New South Wales have provided support to St Finbarr's Netball Club and the Blue Mountains Netball Association, who were both successful in their application for an Australian Sports Foundation Giving for Grassroots grant this year. So Maria Cummins has been instrumental in leading that disability coaching program and believing it gives players new challenges, skills and opportunities to be active contributors to their netball community. Netball New South Wales is really committed to providing equal opportunities to everyone, players, coaches, umpires and officials of all abilities, and it will continue to work with the associations to become more inclusive as much as it can over the coming years, including supporting links with community organisations, disability support groups and identifying useful resources. So at 3/4 time in the under-20s here, the Heart lead the Sting 50-30. It's a battle for 7th place, and we'll be back with the last quarter very shortly. Straight out effort from the Central Coast Heart coming into the 4th quarter. And not unlike the other quarters, Bronte Dawn first to score. Mistake, looked down for a second and there's a turnover. So nobody to score so far in this 3rd quarter. We've seen some changes as well. None for the Sutherland Stingray side. We have seen Kerjack come out into wing defence. And Lavana Wayne Boyle's moving to goal defence. Both those changes for the Sutherland Stingrays. Meanwhile, Jade Farmanu has come on in wing attack. The Rodwell sisters are now on together with Claudia Rodwell now in wing defence. And we've also got Jacinta Clark now on in goal defence. Those three changes all for Central Coast. Good fight. Is he texting someone about the result, maybe? Dawn in front. Lost count of how many she scored back to back. Swanky just losing the ball, being able to pull it back in. A lot of yelling being done from one of the top courts. Well, long shoulder pass into Dawn. Waiting underneath the post. She's happy about that one. Nice little smile between the two exchanged. Back into the mid-court. Rodwell to Farmanu. Rodwell to Wild. pushing back into the midcourt. Clark to Farmanu. Wild in the pocket, offloading to Rodwell. Dawn will come out, push for some space on the baseline. Ball pops out into Wayne Boyle's hands. Heading up the court, strong pass from Wayne Boyle to McRae. Should push into the circle as she's given a free, as the Stingrays are given a free pass. And just saw some of the Sutherland Stingray support squad up the back. Made their way out from the function room. Big fakie from Rodwell. Not sure it was needed. Wild, Farmanu. Up and over to Dawn. Oh, that's talent. Being able to grasp the ball just the edge of your fingertips and pull it in. And step. Clark. Rodwell to Rodwell. Love the sister combination. Farmanu into the pocket where Wild is. Rodwell up and over to Wild on the baseline. Wayne Bowl just a little too close. Pushes it to 63. So the hard up by an incredible amount now. Quick work from Strong to McRae. Still some really good glimpses of play from the Sutherland Stingrays. As mentioned, this is a really young side. The Rays have been hampered by injury, especially at the start of the season, which makes it hard to get going and build those connections you need to. So you don't know what you don't know, so this sort of experience will definitely help them build for the future. In saying that, these are some really good signs for this Central Coast side. In the past, people that lived on the Central Coast had to move down to Sydney if they wanted to pursue netball because there were just no opportunities. This side has come out tonight really strong and there's some great talent here. Just over 4 minutes of play left in this game. And we'll see Central Coast Heart maintain 7th spot on the ladder, which is probably positive, and they'll take the win, definitely. Dawn looking to offload, forced back into the mid-court, but we'll see the Rays pick it up. And Boyle. Into Campbell. And then into Ricky McRae, who's got a beautiful shot and lovely accuracy. She's someone that really stood out for the Rays last year. actually broke her arm at the start of this season, so to see her come back and in fighting form is a really good sign. You can see the Stingrays players on the bench. Dawn just stronger in the contest for that ball. Bogart's so close. Hand to it. Still spinning back into Dawn's arms. Faye Manu getting a little tip to it. And Sutherland unable to hold onto the ball. Some quick work from the Central Coast. Looking to add to the tally is Wild, and it pops in after a little bump on the front of the circle. Long ball doesn't end up where it's supposed to be. Bogart jumps onto it. Okay. Wayne Boyle to take the free pass. Both players out. Strong, feeding into Schwenke as Schwenke finds some space closer to the post. Less than a minute on the clock. The Heart are leading the Stingrays by 23 points. Long ball, Campbell to Swanky, back to Campbell in the pocket. McRae's come out, Swanky's found space in front. And now through the hoop. 20 seconds on the clock. Central Coast just trying to put that extra nail in the coffin. But Wayne Boyle will jump onto it before Faye Manu keeps it in play. Here we go, Maddie Wild. She's got a shot. 5 seconds of play. There you go. Finishing up 67-44. The Heart have pulled off a massive defeat over the Stingrays. We'll bring you all the results from the other games and an interview very shortly. I'm here with Maddie from the Central Coast Heart. They're captain of the under-20s tonight. You've just pulled off a really big win over the Sutherland Stingrays. What do you say about the game?
Oh look, it's always good to have a win under your belt, especially when it's versing Stingrays when you've always had that competition against. It's good just to boost the girls' confidence and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's exciting.
So you guys know that you're not going to make the finals now, which is a little bit disappointing, but you've reevaluated your goals and you're looking forward to next year instead?
Yeah, definitely. Look, we aren't going to make finals, which is unfortunate, but we all do have our own goals that we have to achieve, or we want to achieve. And so I think we're just focusing on that and getting ready for next season and having higher goals this time, I think.
Now you'll face Manly, who were fourth place coming into this round next week. They've just suffered a loss though. Does that give you confidence ahead of next week?
Oh, definitely. With our win tonight, all the girls came off with a big smile on their faces, so confidence is definitely up there. So hopefully next week we can pull it off. Fingers crossed.
Thanks, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week sometime.
Beautiful.
See you later.
See you later.
So just to wrap up the other scores tonight, United beat the Hawks 63-53 on court 3. We saw the Panthers get up over Manly 60-41, and the Sparks got up over the GWS Fury 55-38. Before what we saw on the show court tonight, the Heart, Central Coast, getting up over the Sutherland Stingrays 67-44. So we'll be back next week from 7 p.m. with the round 11 of the Samsung Premier League. We've only got 4 rounds before finals, so it's really tough and it's really tight and every point counts. We look forward to having your company then. Thanks for watching Bar TV tonight.